good SSO sees the whole child and not just the bad and what comes in.
Now at 9, a local school is working to strengthen safety protocols with a new team. Hear why the new training comes just in time.
And fallen Richmond officer Sierra Burton laid to rest today, how her city and the state of Indiana honored her.
And why one company thinks you could pay more this winter.
And Hurricane Ian is headed to Florida, why forecasters are preparing for the worst.
And I've got warmer temperatures as well as some clearer skies in my full forecast.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Alex Almanza.
And I'm Blythe Miller.
This morning, the Muncie Community School officials searched a student's locker at Muncie Central High School and found a handgun inside a backpack. That student was detained by school security officers who are part of the new security team in the corporation.
NewsLink Indiana's Anna Chalker joins us live at Muncie Central High School and met with the one who created this team. Anna?
After an incident that last November that created tension between students and SROs here at Central, MCS decided to try something new. That's when a former Muncie school resource officer created a new firm aimed towards creating a safe environment and building relationships with the students. When the hallways of Northside Middle School are empty,
We have been training and training. Our training does not stop.
members of the new security team are trained on what to do if an active shooter enters the school, but that's far from their only purpose. The main focus for this team is learning how to communicate with students when tensions rise. Robert Scaife created his company, Legacy Life Security Solutions, and the school board selected them for this year.
Well, the main difference is we're not law enforcement. Most school resource officers are either law enforcement or reserve officers. And so we are school safety officers.
Scaife is requiring his team to do the same training provided by the state, including firearms and physical fitness, but he also hopes students see more than the badge.
A good SSO sees the whole child and not just the bad and what comes in.
Applying what they learn in these sessions and making sure they know every inch of their schools.
They're actually going to stop and make points on what's where.
To make sure students and staff feel safe coming in every day and to create relationships that can impact them for the future. The training for this team did not end this weekend. More will be conducted during the remainder of the school year. Now, we do want to mention that Scaife's team does the same training as any school resource officers in the state would do, but they do not have the arresting power. So this morning, Muncie Police was called in to make that arrest. Live in Muncie, Anna Chalker, NewsLink, Indiana.
All right, Anna Chalker live for us at Muncie Central High School. Thank you, Anna. Today was the funeral for fallen officer Sierra Burton. The city of Richmond remembered her life and service to the community. The public was invited to the Tiernan Center at Richmond High School for the service, then holding a procession to Crown Hill Cemetery in Indianapolis. Along the way, the procession stopped at the Richmond Police Department for Burton's final call. Officer Burton was shot during a traffic stop in August. She died over a month later at the hospital. She was laid to rest in the section of the cemetery dedicated to heroes of public safety. Governor Eric Holcomb has ordered flags half-mast across the state in honor of her.
Sunday, the Delaware County Fairgrounds hosted one leg of the Indiana Exotic Pet Expo.
NewsLink Indiana's Grace Benkowski visited the fairgrounds to see animals on admiration on display.
Scales and tails all for sale at this weekend's expo. Creator Ron Billingsley says the Exotic Pet Expo is something he's wanted to bring to Indiana for quite some time after working in shows in surrounding states.
I started by vending other shows, and Indiana was lacking.
Billingsley began his show after viewing the expo at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, but his love for animals began much earlier than that.
I've had animals my whole life. Started by catching baby raccoons and skunks to catching little turtles and stuff in the creek.
Along with the pets, this event was also an expo of passion.
As I got older, my passion got larger.
For vendor Zachary Keeler, it's what got him involved in the exotic animal business 15 years ago.
The passion comes from a lifelong just love of animals.
Keeler encourages anyone looking to uncage their excitement for animals to check out the expo the next time it comes to Muncie.
It's a great opportunity to meet people in the industry, to learn about the animals that you love, and to potentially make this hobby your own.
And guys, don't worry, if you missed this month's Pet Expo, there's another one coming to Muncie on November 27th. In Muncie, Grace Benkowski, NewsLink, Indiana.
You take a look at that kangaroo, and you can, I mean, they get tall.
Wish I could have taken him home.
Oliver Moster has a quick look at our weather. It's going to be possibly cooler weather, right?
Well, yeah, we are definitely seeing those cooler temperatures, and it's definitely not raining cats and dogs at the moment. But looking at these current temperatures, 56 degrees in Muncie, 58 degrees in Indianapolis, and generally in the 50s as you make your way across the state, in the lower 50s and up there near South Bend. Now, those cooler temperatures were definitely affected by the wind today. Gusts got up to 35 miles per hour in Fort Wayne and just above 30 here in Muncie. Now, those windy conditions are most likely going to continue into tomorrow, but definitely not as breezy. Looking at these headlines, we are going to be seeing below average temperatures for the rest of the week, but a warm up is definitely expected as we make our way into the weekend. And at the start of next week, we might be seeing the remnants of Hurricane Ian, but I'll have all that and more in my full forecast.
Thank you, Oliver. Investigators are looking at whether a man who opened fire at a school in western Russia had neo-fascist ties.
11 children and 4 adults were killed in the school in the western city of Izhevsk. Investigators say the gunman also wounded 22 children before he died by suicide. They say he was born in 1988 and had graduated from the school, and he was wearing a shirt with Nazi symbols on it at the time of the attack.
A man facing up to 30 years in prison in the U.S. for espionage charges has been granted Russian citizenship. Former NSA contractor Edward Snowden has lived in Russia since 2013, but he can now officially call it his home. Snowden previously admitted to leaking information about U.S. surveillance programs to the media. An official decree on the issue was published on the Kremlin's government portal today. Snowden and his wife applied for Russian citizenship in 2020.
Well, 2 Americans held as prisoners of war by Russian-backed forces while fighting in Ukraine are back in their home state of Alabama. They reunited with their respective family and friends at Birmingham, Alabama's airport. They had returned to the U.S. in New York on Friday. The man initially disappeared on June 9th while fighting for Ukraine against Russian forces near Kharkiv. The release was a prisoner swap between Russia and Ukraine, brokered by Saudi Arabia, which included the release of 5 British citizens.
The White House wants to make flight tickets easier to read. During a meeting today, President Biden announced new rules to require airlines and travel sites to be more transparent about the fees they charge.
My administration also cracking down on the airlines. Last month, if your flight was canceled or delayed, no top airline explicitly guaranteed to cover your meals if you were away from home, and only one guaranteed free rebooking. Even though when the delay in cancellation was totally their fault.
Under the proposed rules, airlines and travel sites would have to disclose up front any fees charged to sit with your child, to change or cancel your flight, and for checked or carry-on baggage.
The Congressional Budget Office is warning student loan forgiveness is going to cost the government plenty. Its new report estimates the price tag at $400 billion over the course of 30 years. President Joe Biden's plan forgives $10,000 in federal student loans for people who earn less than $125,000, and that's up $20,000 in debt forgiveness. And coming up on NewsLink Indiana today, Elon Musk's faced his first round of questioning from Twitter. We'll tell you why.
And one of Amazon's biggest sales is coming soon. How you could get early access. Next.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. The saga between Elon Musk and Twitter is entering a new phase. Lawyers for the social media site began questioning Musk today and say the process could take up to 3 days.
The matter at hand, ongoing litigation regarding the $44 billion acquisition deal that is in limbo. Earlier this year, Musk tried to back out of buying Twitter, claiming the social media platform wasn't honest about the numbers of spam accounts on the site. Twitter officials say Musk's claims are, quote, factually inaccurate. A 5-day trial is scheduled to start next month. Amazon is getting a big jump on the holiday shopping season. The company is introducing a Prime Early Access sale, which is similar to the annual Prime Day sale. Amazon says what is offering deals on hundreds of thousands of items to Prime members. The sale will run on October 11th and 12th.
Target is looking to hire up to 100,000 people this season. That's just one of the moves Target is making to make a jump on the holidays. The company will also have a Deal Days event October 6th through 8th that'll feature thousands of deals. Target also says it plans to extend its popular holiday price match guarantee this year. Meanwhile, other retailers are also getting a jump start. Walmart announced last week that it'll start its holiday sales as early as next month.
While Americans have seen some relief at the pump with gas prices dropping across the country, utility bills are an entirely different story. One organization is now predicting home heating costs this winter will reach the highest level in more than 10 years. Mike Valerio reports.
Winter is coming, and with it, a cold reality. The cost to heat your home is expected to skyrocket.
Missed a payment. Next thing you know, the power was off.
Kristen Blom Westbrook's family was among the roughly 20 million American households behind on their utility bills, the highest on record, according to the National Energy Assistance Directors Association. And the problem is only getting worse. The organization says families are expected to pay an average of 17.2% more for home heat this coming season compared to last winter.
Energy inflation is leading inflation overall. This is not normal.
Energy prices are on the rise in part because of the repeated heat waves that baked much of the U.S. this summer, worsening the already strained levels of natural gas reserves. NIATA Executive Director Mark Wolf says the spike will force families to make difficult decisions between paying for food, medicine, and rent.
We're seeing numbers for middle-income families go higher, and many of those families also are in very tight budgets.
The Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program is now asking Congress for an additional $5 billion to help low-income families. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Now, winter is not here yet, but fall surely is. Next up, look at the weather.
Well, those cooler temperatures are definitely sticking around, but we are expecting a warm-up as NewsLink Indiana continues.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward
it's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. Some cooler temperatures as Hurricane Ian is now barreling toward Cuba as a Category 2 storm. The hurricane strengthened with sustained winds of 100 miles an hour. The center is just 150 miles southeast of western Cuba.
The country will likely see significant winds and storm surges overnight. Ian is then expected to strengthen to a Category 3 hurricane tomorrow morning. More than 15 million people could see at least tropical storm-like conditions.
And here in the U.S., the storm is expected to make its way to our coastline too. Florida officials started issuing evacuation orders earlier today. Hurricane Ian is likely heading for the state. Early evacuation could be especially important for people like seniors who need extra time. Forecasters are still working out Ian's precise path. They say people across Florida should prepare for the worst, from heavy rain to dangerous storm surge, that is. Of course, we're not going to see any of that here, but we are seeing some drastic changes in temperatures. Oliver, what do you have?
Well, again, keeping on the theme of Hurricane Ian, that is expected to make U.S. landfall early Thursday morning. We can see here on the radar that we do have this large storm, low pressure right there, and those rain showers are already making their way into Florida. Again, we are expecting that to make landfall early Thursday, but we don't know the exact route of what it will take after that. Most say it's going to be going up the eastern coast, so we should be expecting some southwest winds and maybe a couple showers here and there as we make our way into early next week. But looking at the current temperatures, again, super cool here, 56 degrees in Muncie, 58 degrees in Indianapolis, and generally in the upper to mid 50s as you make your way across the state. A little bit cooler as you make your way north. Now, we were seeing a little bit cooler than what we normally sit at for today in history. Today's high was 69 degrees in Muncie. Normally we're seeing around 74 degrees, super shy of that record high set in 2017 of 91 degrees. But September as a whole was just a little bit warmer than what we averagely see. High temperatures averagely are about 78 degrees, and in this year we saw temperatures up to an average of 80 degrees, but precipitation was just a little bit below average, sitting at just a hair over 2.5 inches. Normally it's around 3 inches cumulatively for the month. But looking at the current radar, we shouldn't be seeing too much cumulative precipitation as we make our way through the rest of the week. But right now, a couple spotty showers up there in Jay, Grant, and Blackbird County, but nothing too much south of Muncie. But those partly cloudy conditions are definitely going to continue as we make our way into tonight. Again, partly cloudy conditions, lows in the mid 40s, winds coming from the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. No, those westerly winds are going to continue as we make our way into tomorrow. Northwesterly winds throughout the day, definitely not as blustery as today, but we are going to be seeing a little bit of an increase in temperature as we make our way through the day. High of 62 is expected around 3 to 4 p.m. Then we dip right back down into the lower 40s as we make our way into tomorrow night. Those partly cloudy skies again sticking around, and northwesterly winds from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now looking at the 7-day, again, I've been promising this warm-up this entire show, and here we can definitely see that in full swing. 62 degrees for the high in the middle of the week, and then we increase into the 70s as we go into the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, 72 degrees and 74 degrees. Might be seeing a little bit of precipitation as we transition from Sunday to Monday, but we'll have all that and more as NewsLink Indiana weather continues this week.
You know, that Saturday, Sunday, kind of a perfect weather, especially with the game going on. We've got that kind of barbecue weather.
Definitely,
perfect.
Definitely not the crisp fall temperatures that we've been seeing this past week.
No. All right, thank you, Oliver. When we come back, a recap of this weekend in sports. Vinny Moderano has a preview.
Yeah, thanks guys. Ball State Cardinals having a really busy weekend with multiple teams facing off against tough competition. We've got the scores and updates after the break.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Vincent Moderano with sports. Ball State football taking on Georgia Southern this past Saturday. The contest starting off sluggish with 2 short field goals for both squads to knot the score at 3-3 heading into the second quarter. The Eagles and the Cardinals trading blows throughout the next 2 quarters to make the score 20-20 moving into the fourth. But Georgia Southern scoring 2 late touchdowns to beat Ball State 34-23. And head coach Mike New believes that a large component of the loss stems from the team's problems with unnecessary flags.
We had a penalty, an unacceptable penalty on the sideline after a big run by Carson Steele, and so that's got to be taken out of the game. It starts with me. I'm the head football coach here, and so I'm going to have to adjust some things because the penalties are showing up, and we're beating ourselves.
And one bright spot for the Cardinals is the play from starting quarterback John Paddock, throwing for 338 yards, as well as earning a MAC Offensive Player of the Week honor. Ball State will look to pick up their second win on the year as they take on the Northern Illinois Huskies at home this Saturday at 2 p.m. And taking things over to the courts, women's tennis facing off at the Cardinal Creek Tennis Center this past weekend. Joining the Cardinals in the Bethany Moore Invitational were Butler, Dayton, Oakland, Wisconsin, and Milwaukee. And Ball State flourishing against the competition, winning all 5 singles and 2 of the 3 doubles brackets. Standout performer Maria Polichik with dominating performances, taking the Flight 1 singles crown over Dayton's Nina Kataskis. The Cardinals facing off in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for the Middle Tennessee Invite on September 30th. And we're going to keep it on the courts where Ball State men's tennis opening up fall play this weekend at the University of Dayton. The Cardinals facing off in the James O'Connell Memorial Tournament. Ball State going 11-7 overall in singles and 8-1 in doubles action. Two standouts for the Cardinals being sophomore Nathaniel Webster and freshman Jax Lancaster for posting undefeated singles records. The Cardinals will take a quick break this upcoming weekend before returning home for the Ball State Fall Invite on October 7th. And we'll take things over to the pitch with Ball State soccer going against Eastern Michigan yesterday at the Bryner Sports Complex. The Cardinals dominating the Eagles with a final score of 5-0. Freshman Delaney Caldwell is leading Ball State with 2 goals on the day. Fifth-year player Jenna Dombrowski and freshman Tori Monaco also scoring their first goals of the season. The Cardinals defense holding strong, allowing only 5 shots compared to the 19 from Ball State. After the match, head coach Josh Wright explaining how the team is looking ahead to what they can do in the Mid-American Conference.
Credit to the ladies. They continue to work hard regardless of maybe what the record might look like, right, and for those around outside the program. But I think inside the program, there still continues to be a lot of belief and hopefulness of what this group can accomplish this year.
Ball State soccer will return to the field this Thursday at home for their next match against the Northern Illinois Huskies at 4 p.m. And guys, I'm really looking forward to this weekend on Saturday's football game. Hopefully we see some momentum from the Cardinals to bring in their second win of the season.
Plenty of tailgating action as well. Thank you so much. In just moments, NewsLink Indiana's Julia Henn joins us for your campus coverage.
And we have one final look at weather. Stay with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared. So start now.
Right now?
Right now. You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. My name is Julia Henn, and this is your campus coverage. Last Thursday, the 2022 Botswin Baking Show took place.
And getting involved
but the
was really
competition
nice
was a hard one to judge, with multiple groups competing in the competition and so much talent. The judges had a very hard time declaring a winner. Many residents in Botsford-Swinford wanted to join the baking competition to get involved.
And getting involved was really nice because I haven't met some of the people there, so I got to get to know them and have a little friendly competition, but it was a really nice environment to be in.
The residents in Botswin encouraged future residents to enter the baking competition.
Looks like some tasty sweets there.
Oh yeah, what is your guys' favorite fall sweet treat? Well, I like the pumpkin cream cheese muffin from Starbucks.
Oh my gosh, me too. That is one of my favorites. I also love their pumpkin loaf.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you so much, and we're going to toss it over to Oliver with one final look at your weather.
Again, we are seeing those cooler temperatures in the middle of this week, but once we get into the weekend, we should be seeing some temperatures in the lower to upper 70s, possibly some precipitation on Sunday.
All right, thank you, Oliver. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.